of people that look like this guy trying to run stuff. I don't represent the people. The fuck I don't. I'm the one who does. It's me. I'm the one out here putting the work in behind the scenes trying to save crypto while these devils, Sam Bankman-Fried, Brian Armstrong, they're trying to permanently ruin it. This is...
So, Bitboy Crypto, Brian Armstrong from Bitboy Crypto went in, and we're going to cover some of the things that I want to cover in this video in regards of just the shady behavior and the conflicts of interest that are leading, to this sort of reaction, because you do have, major people of wealth in, the industry that are trying to make their agenda known and present and dominant within the space, which is going to affect the space in a going forward basis. So we're going to cover that here in a second, but we're going to start with some stuff over here from Library. It says, here's an update on everything that happened in our case this month. And there's literally nothing. And then WheezyX says, current view inside the courtroom, with the judge Jif here sleeping. So Jeremy Kaufman from Library, man, they're still frustrated about what's going on within litigation. Coming over here, Jeremy Hogan says, what is going on in the Ripple versus SC case? 1, the parties have filed with the court under seal reply briefs to each other's motions for summary judgment. We can't see these yet. They also filed numerous exhibits, etc., which we also can't see. So I think Monday we're going to see some more public stuff. He continues, 2, the parties are speaking today about what parts of their briefs they wanted to redact. The summary judgment briefs from last month really talked past each other. So these are the briefs where we'll really see how strong each position is. What response will the SEC have? The briefs are scheduled to be made public next Monday, but last month the SEC ignored the deadline and filed it a day early. So be on the lookout anytime Sunday or Monday for those to drop. Yeah, so hopefully something does come out sooner. He ends here, says, after that, there's just one more brief on November 15th, and then we are basically done. So just kind of a waiting game to kind of see what happens. Do I want to cover anything down here? Moving on here is from Digital Perspective. So we've been showing some of this Ripple stuff. I think it was out in London. Ripple being on, things out in the community and stuff. Digital Perspective says, wonder what the SEC thinks about this. Oh, that's right. No one outside the U.S. gives a crap what the SEC thinks. Let's effing go. Retweet. So if we play this real quick, you can kind of see Ripple. And then I've showed some other stuff here. This is from Jordan Harry. He says, some people said it wasn't real, so I had to go see for myself. So the writing's on the wall. Enter a new era of finance, Ripple. And then right here, Riz XRP says the writing's on the wall. Just like DAI talks about, the writing's on the wall. We see the writing on the wall with this space, especially with Ripple and XRP. This is huge, man. And they're undergoing an SEC investigation within the United States. I mean, they're still chugging along, expanding and scaling their business, and XRPL's, continuing to have growth, and it's just crazy to see what lies, to anticipate what lies ahead for Ripple and XRP, and just for crypto in general. This is absolutely huge. Obviously, we know that this case is going to truly set precedent for the entire space. And this is from Brad Gallagher, says, celebrating Ripple's 10-year anniversary at our all hands today. Thankful every day for this incredible team and the privilege to be Ripple CEO. So this is huge, man. This is huge to see. And you know what? We're a part of this history. Us in the XRP community, fighting the good fight, making videos, sharing, retweeting, researching, finding information, being Twitter sleuths, and calling out the conflicts of interest and shady tactics and behaviors and shady agenda, bringing that to light. This is the reason why all this stuff is what it is. This is why, we have people like Johnny Deaton in the class action lawsuit, and Jason Foster from Empower Oversight, and, all these other amicus briefs that's coming out for obviously their own agendas. But it's like people are seeing the writing on the wall with the SEC's overregulation by enforcement within this space. Like, it's because of the XRP community that a lot of this stuff has surfaced. So we're fighting the good fight, and we are a part of history. And this is huge. This is from Digital Asset Investor. I thought this was interesting. It says, quote, the Supreme Court at no point held, and this is really important, that an orange was a security. It was a package that was a security. The SEC called XRP itself a security in the Ripple case because it was a weapon to hold them back. I hope they sue the SEC for billions. So that goes to why Johnny Deaton felt the need to step up, because they're literally calling the secondary sales of XRP a security. XRP is a security in itself, where that was wrong, especially utilizing the Howey test. That's what he's saying here. So let's take a quick listen into this.
The Securities and Exchange Commission brought a case against the developer of orange groves who wound up selling interests in the orange grove combined with a land management contract. And this is a very important distinction. What you would have is tourists come down to Florida in the 1930s and 1940s. They would stay at this fancy hotel, and right next to the hotel, there would be signs and brochures saying, you love it here in Florida in the summer, why don't you buy a piece of our orange grove here? And the important point is that what the tourists were buying wasn't the orange. It wasn't even the tree. It was the combination of the citrus, the rights to the profits of the citrus, with the management contract. It was the package that the Supreme Court decided satisfied the definition of an investment contract. And because that investment contract was not registered with the SEC, and because the sellers couldn't demonstrate that they qualified for an exemption, the Supreme Court agreed with the Securities Exchange Commission, and it said that the combination of the sale of the orange grove with the management contract was a security. The Supreme Court at no point held, and this is really important, that an orange was a security. It was the package that was the security.
The package that was a security. So XRP in itself, secondary sales of XRP is not security, clearly. So for them to come out and state that, I mean, I agree with what Johnny Deaton says and what DAI is talking about here. It was used as a weapon. You know, they didn't think they were right. They didn't think they were just in their tactics. It was used as a weapon to stifle and hold back Ripple and XRP. And it's been quite evident based on the timeline that we've created or that we've put together, not that we've created, that was put together based on the facts, not unfounded speculation, not conspiracy theory, the facts. Continuing on here, here's another one. How long is this one? 1:20 is saying, the government knows exactly who the 4 Satoshis are, and they know exactly who the disguised wells in the ETH ICO are. The question is, why do they not want you to know them? Why don't they want you to know? So as you can see, I'm kind of leading up to, Brian Armstrong's intense video coming up because I'm piecing together things. You see the SEC, you see government officials, the powers that be, they know what's going on. There's no secret. To act like Satoshi is this, an anonymous individual. That's just not the case. We've actually surfaced video footage of Homeland Security talking about people agents going to meet with 4 Satoshis. And if they really want to track, the initial ETH ICO and who holds what and who has what and what wallet, they'll know that. But let's take a listen into this. It's interesting, man. This is crazy.
Intriguingly, with Bitcoin, you can trace these transactions if you're sufficiently sophisticated. Want evidence of that? Really easy. Have a look at the indictment that Mueller's office issued against the 12 Russian hackers on July 13th, 2018. If you read that indictment, there's very specific information there about how the Russians paid for servers and for other aspects of their hacking activity with Bitcoin. Now, how is it that Mueller's office would know that certain servers and other services were paid for with Bitcoin? Simple answer. They're able to read the blockchain. They can follow the transactions from one wallet, which has a public number, to another wallet that has another public number, and using other sources, they're able to figure out who's behind the wallet, and they're able to figure out the names of the people behind the wallet. Simple story. If the Russian hackers can't hide their identity from Mueller's office, neither can you. So, Bitcoin is not really anonymous, vis-a-vis the ability of sophisticated parties to read and to analyze them.
So, we've talked about on this channel too. It's like there's got to be, and I know there is, third-party companies out there that specialize in this area of tracking, transactions, if you will. So, like, if the government, which they probably know, based on the evidence that we've been seeing, they know what's going on. But to put it out there publicly, if they wanted to really know, who the ETH ICO whales were, it'd be very easy for them to track that and to know what's going on, which I'm sure the inside people already know what's going on. But the same thing goes for the whole Satoshi wallets and who Satoshis are. Like it's already out there. I mean, it's the cat out, or they say that the toothpaste is out of the tube. Like you can't put it back. It's already out there. But this is all leading up into just like the shady stuff that's going on within the crypto space. And we're going to lead into some more stuff right here. So Digital Asset Investor have put together these 2 video clips where Senator Loomis states on one hand, a lot of these digital assets are commodities. But then on the other hand, currently she's saying most of them are securities. So he goes, they should call it the Bill Him and Ethereum Free Pass 2.0 bill. Because Stefan Huber says, Senator Loomis and Senator Gillibrand are lying right to your face. They are lying right to your face. Explain. Please explain this to us. Such politicians disgrace of the U.S. worldwide. So let's listen into this.
Framework by utilizing what's in place now. Most cryptocurrencies are commodities, which would put them within the jurisdiction of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission for trading.
Most are commodities.
And futures markets.
So you would agree with Chairman Gensler that most of them probably are securities, and I take it your legislation isn't meant to change that.
No, it's just that people didn't read it properly. We just said that there are commodities, and Bitcoin is one of them, and Ether and a few others probably are as well, but that there's a test. It's called the Howey test. It's worked, and we updated it to actually work in the framework of digital assets. And if there's 15,000 cryptocurrencies, that means 14,900 and something are securities. So that's a lot of work for the SEC to do.
Most cryptocurrencies are commodities.
No, it's just that people didn't read it properly. We just said that there are commodities, and Bitcoin is one of them, and Ether and a few others probably are as well, but that there's a test. It's called the Howey test. It's worked, and we updated it to actually work.
Long story short, there was I wish I would have put it in here, but there's an actual, outside of this, Gillibrand talking, there was a clip of Loomis within this talking about most of them are securities. That's what she said. Maybe it is in here. Let me play it through real quick.
In the framework of our securities.
Most cryptocurrencies are.
So yeah, so there is literally a lot of flip flopping going on, and this is going to lead into some of the frustrations that Brian Armstrong from Bitboy Crypto is talking about. Just like a lot of these actors out there, kind of putting on this facade, kind of telling you one thing, but doing something completely different, kind of giving you the juke or head fake, like, Bitcoin and crypto are scams and Ponzi schemes, but in the background, they're accumulating, trying to suppress the market so they can accumulate and get a bigger slice of the pie. So listening to this is intense right here. And let me know down below what you think about it.
But I want this guy right here, Ryan Sean Adams. I don't know who the F you are because you're not important. But here he says, please, dear Lord, and any lawmakers or adults reading this tweet, just know Bitboy doesn't represent us either. Talk to Jay Stravinsky. Talk to Miller CWL. Talk to Coin Center. You know what? We are tired of people that look like this guy trying to run stuff. I don't represent the people. The fuck I don't. I'm the one who does. It's me. I'm the one out here putting the work in behind the scenes, trying to save crypto, while these devils, Sam Bankman-Fried, Brian Armstrong, they're trying to permanently ruin it. This is not about money for me. I hope you guys understand this. I am here fighting for you. This guy with these freaking glasses on, this douchebag, is out here trying to tell you that only the suits know what to do. Only the suits. Only the people who have all the money. They're the ones who can determine what happens. No, our bill is for the people. And you're going to find this out. We've got the funding for it, and it's coming out. But I want...
So let me know what you think. I mean, there's a lot of people in the community talking about love the energy. I agree. And, you got Mason right here. Damn, Bitboy just went off. I'm completely with you on this one, Bitboy Crypto. I mean, from the stuff we've been seeing, that's literally what it is. We're realizing that it's literally us, the genuine people within the community, the investors, the smaller people, and some of the very few, bigger players within the crypto space are realizing that we need to band together, stick together, and fight the good fight and stand up against all of this shady stuff, the conflicts of interest, the negative agendas, the negative narratives, because we see the writing on the wall. They're trying to get the incumbents and, you know, their Wall Street brothers and sisters and their best friends. They're trying to turn the ship around so they all can get on, get a bigger slice of the pie so they can control it, just like we've talked about on this channel, and DII talks about it, you know, the whole meeting on Jekyll Island and trying to get this whole, we'll just say this whole industry, all the wealth within this space as it moves forward and continues to scale and grow, trying to get a bigger slice so they control the narrative. And that's just kind of the facts that we've been seeing. So I kind of love this video here. It's quite interesting. Moving on here, I'm going to end on this right here. This is from JPMorgan Facts. It says 2014 already has stake in Ethereum in consensus. 2015 buys the largest mining hardware firm. 2016 develops Quorum on Ethereum. 2017 founds Ethereum Alliance. 2020 sells Quorum to consensus. 2021 buys major stakes in consensus. 2022 Ethereum is now proof of stake. Really let that sink in. Okay, so we talk about whales or hidden purchasers and ETH ICO, right? So imagine if, you know, you bought Ethereum, you know, next to nothing. You know, you bought a crap ton of it, right? You hold a massive share in it because you kind of know, you're an inside person, you know kind of what's going on. So you get to 2022, now it's proof of stake. You hold a fat portion of that digital asset. So when it comes to voting and, you know, power within the voting, or however they do their, we'll just say their voting, for a perfect example. Like, you have a major portion or you have a lot of strength in regards of how that vote is going to be swayed. You know what I'm saying? So whether that's, you know, because you have so much Ethereum and you're, you know, it's proof of stake, you have all these voting power, then again, you're still getting all the benefits of staking the asset in general too, on top of all that voting power. You know what I'm saying? Do you see the conflict there? It's absolutely nuts, man. And the crazy thing is like, outside of Ethereum, just even in the crypto space in general, like, do they really think that we're this dumb? You know, obviously history, and nothing's super new. Obviously the crypto space is new, but like the tactics that, you know, these major wealthy people within, you know, across the globe, if you will, especially in the US, government officials and the 1%ers, like, they know what they're doing. This is tactics and strategies that they utilize, you know, for decades and decades. But it's like, how dumb do they think we are now with social media? And, you know, you got a decentralized community coming together, like in the XRP community in general. Like, what makes them think that they were truly going to get away with this? Especially the fact that, you know, they go out and gloat about these things and they slip up and, you know, say too much on certain interviews, and people start putting things together, and now it's surfacing. But then again, at the end of the day, like, it's just going to be a waiting game to see how much, you know, the impact, you know, the decentralized community that came together to fight the good fight is going to make within all this stuff. You know, what's litigation going to come out? Not just in the Ripple versus SC case, but just in general, these bills that are being thrown up. You know, what's regulations going to be like? How's that going to affect, you know, the smaller investors? How's that going to affect the entire crypto space globally? A lot of questions, but I'm just glad to be a part of this and to be a part of a decentralized community that genuinely wants to make sure everyone has a level playing field and a fair shot to change the course of their life financially. Huge, man. But that's what I have for you. Make sure you come to the Crypto is Key Conversation YouTube channel, subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at CryptoIsKey1. I really appreciate you guys' support. With all that being said, and I mean this, you know, from the bottom of my heart, stay strong out there and be safe.